All right, FightHype.com here with my man Kevin Cunningham. Kevin, congratulations on a successful comeback fight for Devon Alexander. What did you think?
Well, I mean, after being off for 2 years, also with the fact that he was dealing with the personal issues that's been well documented, I think he did. He showed a pretty good account of himself, and I think more importantly, the reflexes are still there. I saw a little, the 2 years off, I saw a little ring rust with the timing and whatnot, but I think with some activity, that'll all be back all intact. And, I was pretty pleased with what I saw tonight, being as though, like I said, the kid's been off for 2 years, and he's dealt with, the painkiller situation. And he also fought a pretty solid guy. He didn't just fight some, just some bum opponent. He fought a guy that's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. When Devon dropped him in the second round, it was early in the fight. I was actually shocked when it happened. I said, "Whoa, where'd that come from?"
Mm-hmm.
What kind of went through your mind? I mean, were you? I mean, obviously you were pleased when you saw that, but at the same time, were you kind of hoping to, oh man, I was kind of looking to get some rounds in?
Yeah, we wanted rounds in, but if there was an opportunity to get rid of a guy, you get rid of a guy, because you never know what happens in a fight. I mean, you can get cut, elbowed, anything can happen in a fight. Get caught with a shot, anything. So, I would have liked to have, at any opportunity you get to get a fight over, you get it over, but it worked out. We got rounds in, much needed rounds. But what's weird about that particular round was I thought that bell rung a little early, and I've been getting calls, and I'm hearing that round, that bell rung at least 10 to 15 seconds early. So that was pretty strange.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. It seemed like it was. I don't know if they rang it like right after he got up, but it definitely seemed like the round ended a little bit early. Just looking at the fight itself. I mean, like you said, Walter Castillo was a tough opponent. Is there anything that you saw in Devon that concerned you? Whether, everyone has to improve after each fight, so I'm sure you saw some things that you want to improve on, but was there anything that concerned you, just knowing what he had gone through, those personal issues and everything? Like, did you see anything that maybe you felt like, ooh, this could be an issue?
No, I didn't see anything that really concerned me like that, but I did see, the effects of 2 years off, so, and that's to be expected, I've seen a lot of shots that he's seen that he missed, and that comes with, activity, the timing, the rhythm and timing of activity. So, that's pretty much par for the course. I mean, when, like I said, off for 2 years, and not even adding the fact that, what he's dealing with. I mean, he did pretty good. I mean, I would like to get him right back in maybe, 8 weeks, 8-9 weeks, and get him back in there, and, get him another fight and knock off a little more rust, and I think, he'll be ready for any of those guys at the upper echelon.
Yeah. I asked Devon the same question. How important was your move from St. Louis to West Palm Beach, Florida? I mean, obviously that was a big change for you, but that also meant a big change for him as well, because he had to come out here and get that work in. Like, do you think that was important to his comeback?
Yeah, very important. I mean, being at home, there's a lot of distractions. I mean, you got friends, family, and just the fact that you're at home and just all kind of stuff going on. And the fact that he's coming out of a situation where he's trying to just rehab his whole life. So he needed the space and the time to just get himself back together. And I think it was a perfect opportunity for him to be able to have a situation to where he could go to South Florida and have a beautiful training camp, and we have the great arrangements for any fighter, for that matter, that's an elite fighter that's trying to prepare for big fights. I mean, we got the gym, the house, the chef, and all of that paid dividends for Devon, and it was really important to in helping with the comeback.
How important was that move for you? I mean, it's not too many trainers out there that have. I mean, a lot of trainers, they have a gym. That's fine, and obviously you need a gym to train people. But you've also got a house. You have a place for them to stay. You have a chef. Like it's a one-stop shop as far as you're concerned.
Yeah. I mean, when if you're taking this sport serious, which you better, if you really want to compete at the elite level, you better take it serious. You want your training arrangements to be right, and I think we got a pretty good setup. I think the chef and the meals and the actual training program that we have. It's like I said, it's a private gym. It's not a gym where, you got a lot of gyms where people just pop in. It's in a busy area, and that's for me. That's not a training camp environment. I think you really need to have a little private, and some seclusion. Not too secluded, but enough seclusion to where a fighter can really focus on, working on his skills and craft and getting himself prepared to go and compete at the elite level in the big fights. And I think that's what we have. So, and I think, being in West Palm, it's beautiful all year round, and it's a great environment for world-class athletes, period. I mean, you have the top UFC guys. They have big training camps down there. You got football players train down there in the off season. So, you got a lot of the Major League Baseballs have their baseball teams have their spring trainings down in South Florida. So, I mean, it's just a great place for training environments. I mean, it's the condition and nutrition capital of the world, I believe. I mean, because you got some of the best trainers, strength conditioning trainers, and what have you in South Florida. I mean, it's the place where everybody wants to go, and everybody wants to have their health and body looking good. I mean, it's beach life, and I mean, everybody wants to look good down in South Florida. So I mean, you have a lot of trainers, and it's just a perfect environment to train. So I think it's a great situation, and I think tonight it really showed. I mean, with Devon, like I said, going through what he went through. I mean, a lot of people thought he was done. I mean, and I think Walter Castillo is a sturdy enough, solid enough fighter to where he can bring it out, and he would have exposed a fighter that's done. I think Walter Castillo would have shown you, and he's good enough to expose a fighter that's done. And I mean, that didn't happen tonight, and Devon showed that he's still one of the most talented and one of the guys that still got enough skill and ability to compete at the elite level.
I think I mean, obviously, physically, we saw how Devon looked, how he performed inside the ring. But I think the one thing that was the most impressive, at least to me, was the mentality that Devon had to put himself through what he put himself. I mean, being in camp with you, it ain't easy.
Right.
It ain't easy. I mean, you can't just be your average Joe Blow guy that comes off the street and, hey, I'm here at Camp Cunningham. I mean, he had to have the right mentality to want to come back.
Yeah, I mean, Devon came back after going through the rehab process and the classes and whatnot to address the painkiller situation. Mm-hmm. When he did finally come to camp here in Florida, he came to camp around 190 pounds.
I remember. I saw him. I was here.
And you were an eyewitness.
Mm-hmm.
You came down, and you came down actually the same day that I picked him up.
Day you picked it up. Yep.
So, excuse me, he came into the camp around 190 pounds. And, to get back to 147, it took a lot of work, took a lot of hard work, discipline, and focus. And, like you said, a lot of guys can talk that talk, but there's a difference between talking and actually going in and putting in the work and being focused enough and disciplined enough to go through the process and getting it done.